I think that seeing it from beginning to end is really important. The work is kind of these tiny little tidbits or little vignettes of things that are stuck together one after the other. And there was one idea early on that these things could be moved around. So it's like an anagram of the body, that these things could be moved around and you could see them in whatever order and get this picture of what this body is. But as I was working more and more, I realized that you need to see all of these things and you need to see them in order. So if I showed you the last thing first, it wouldn't have the impact that it does by having it last.
At the 2009 Arotmatic, I filmed a dance performance by choreographer-dancer Kelly Bond called Splitting the Difference. When I asked Kelly for an interview for this film, she was a little reluctant. Her biggest fear was that I would use only the most exploitive elements of her performance, robbed of any context of her work as a whole. As it turns out, her fears were well grounded.
So I think that it's just wanting my work, because it's meant to be a live performance. When it's filmed and it's shown that way, it's wanting it to be presented in a way that could hopefully speak to its actual qualities.
Even as I filmed, I was struck by what I was capturing as I looked in the viewfinder. Already I was calculating the ways I could bend those images to fit my own narrative ends. Three times in my series on Arotmatic, I've used her image. Short glimpses of Splitting the Difference. No explanation, no context. Isolated moments cut adrift from Kelly's narrative whole. It gives the illusion the viewer is seeing her performance, but really they are not.
Yeah, with that work, I was really interested in exploring the body and its kind of different presentations. So the body as alien, the body as object, the body as spectacle, all these kinds of variations that the body could be or could be perceived as.
I guess it could be argued those concepts are reflected in the clips I used in previous videos. But in all honesty, ideas of the body and its different presentations was the last thing going through my brain. The body as spectacle, however, that makes for terrific and exploitable video. I didn't direct her, I didn't confer with her, I didn't really even talk to her before she began. I merely sat in a room as Kelly performed Splitting the Difference before an audience and filmed her. I was basically just a thief with a camera.
It takes me, I would say, about a year in general. A lot of times in the past, my work has developed from an idea that I had from reading. So often I'm reading something and then an idea strikes me and I go from there. I read more things, I watch films, I watch other people's work. I go into the studio and I see what comes, and actually the physical, even though my work as an end product, if you would say that, is a physical manifestation of those ideas, it actually takes me a really long time to find the physical part of things, the physical side of things. There's a lot of talking and reading and writing that goes on in the beginning.
A year out of her life to create, and here I am chopping it to pieces. It isn't like I said to myself one morning, gee, I'm going to take Splitting the Difference and distort the hell out of it. In movie making, that's just the nature of the beast. Take the most visually compelling and discard the rest. Time becomes relative, completely unrestrained by the laws of physics. Speed up or slow down Kelly's performance at will, searching for the perfect moment to highlight. Backward and forward, I glide through the timeline until I find exactly what I am looking for. place it at center stage within the frame. And if the action flags, simply skip to another instance in time. And if I find a particular image I like, slow it down, drag it out, make it last. All you need is the right software. The immutable restrictions of time and space are swept away like loose dust. The camera alters everything, zeroing in or pulling back, choosing just where to focus its gaze. No member of the audience saw this, only the lens, its vision distorted by the mechanics of ground glass. Condensed, reordered, and enhanced via the computer. What is displayed becomes a pale shadow of Kelly's original performance. A poor Cliff Notes version of the thing itself. Truth takes it on the nose. It's a lie, reality reflected back in a funhouse mirror. A trick of editing and camera mechanics, smoke and mirrors. But it is a dangerous lie, because film feels so goddamn true.
One day my dad took me for a ride on his motorcycle. I said, faster, Daddy, faster! Faster, Daddy, faster! Faster, Daddy, faster! Ooh, Daddy, not so fast! And her right thumb must have hit a rock just so that her right fingernail popped off. She started screaming and her mom ran over and scooped her up. And her mom saw that the fingernail was hanging on by a tiny piece of skin. So she grabbed the fingernail, ripped it off.
Everyone has a story to tell. Kelly and I use different mediums to tell ours. Even if I plopped the camera down and just showed all 30 minutes of splitting the difference, it wouldn't be her story. Just an imperfect, two-dimensional reproduction, distorted by the camera lens.
It's important for me, the reason I do it live and not as a filmed thing is because it's important to have that immediate interaction with the audience, that relationship that happens in that moment in time. It doesn't happen on film. And I think that that's important for this piece specifically. So I prefer it to always be live.
Our methods of storytelling are just not the same. As I confessed in an earlier episode, The Girls of Arotmatic isn't even the real title of these pieces. And now, the time has come to reveal the true name, Stealing Art. For 2 months in 2009, I filmed over 18 hours of footage at the 10th anniversary of Arotmatic. I performed a theft. I took many artists' hard work and shaped it into my own vision. I stole their art.
It's something that I feel could go really wrong or could be really great. So it is there's always a little bit of that fear anytime that you might let someone else use your image or videotape the piece or whatever. So there is a fear there. It really is a trust thing, like you said, that I would trust that you would honor the work, or if you choose not to and you choose to show these spectacular moments, that you're addressing why you're doing that.
Money.